everything's going with
They're doing good. They're with the break.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's back to normal, and it actually took us 2 days to fix it, right? So it was done pretty quickly, but for those of us that have like background in water, right? It's a big pipe.
What was the problem that allowed it to drain all those reservoirs?
So the problem is that it's a transmission line that was built and it was installed in the 50s, right? So the design, the way it was designed, these were designed before it was like, it's the main pipe, the 30, so the transmission mains, we use them to carry water, right? And then we connect smaller pipes, 24-inch and below, to those with valves to get water from those big mains. And those smaller lines, they're the ones that feed the system, the residents, right? The businesses to drink or to use. However, before, it seems like all these small connections were directly to this very large line. So what happened is that, it breaks in the middle of the night, and then so the water's coming out, the tanks are draining, and by the time somebody gets out there, because it's just draining, and then it was around, I think it broke around 10-ish. So,
Yeah.
Businesses are on a Saturday night, so business are also restaurants and everything, they're using this water, so that's what the tanks drain so quickly. We issued the water notice from Murchison all the way to the state line just to be conservative, because not everybody was without water or without pressure.
Okay.
We're thinking that maybe not even half of the people there were affected, but just out of precaution, because those tanks serve those areas, we issued the boil water notice, even though we knew it was not gonna be very well taken. But safety first, right?
Is that house that got undermined been purchased? So those people have.
Yeah, we're working, our claims and legal department are working with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it just one house that was affected?
That was affected like that. Yeah, that I know of, it's just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, but like I said, yeah, that's claims and legal working with whomever was affected.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we're paddling along, trying to catch up on everything else, right? Because everything it was the beginning of the year, so more emails, more stuff, meetings. So now it's catching up. Yeah, but we were all the chiefs, VPs, John, our president, and managers of the affected department. We all got called in on Sunday emergency, and we're there since Sunday at noon, all day Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then yeah. So it's been a heck of a beginning of the year.
Well, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone too. Yours has been a little bit more calm.
Yeah, it has.
I'm glad there's good people to take care of that stuff quickly.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you'll be surprised. It was such cohesiveness and communication, and it just helped to have all the chiefs and everybody in the room making decisions and planning and strategizing and talking to contractors, talking to consultants, among ourselves, because there's a lot of HR issues that we had to discuss. So it's a huge
I think your
operation.
spokesperson that was on TV talked about replacing some of that big pipe.
Gil, he's not our spokesperson. He's our VP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we usually have the subject matter experts like talk about these big things, right? Not just a spokesperson. And so we replaced that segment that broke, of course, right? And we had to wait for the valves to get here, and then since it's such an old pipe, and like the line stops that we call it, or these things they have to match like exact size. So since it's such an old pipe, we didn't have that, so we had to get welders to do things and fix it and whatever so that we can make the connection. So right now we're assessing the pipe. There's like a forensics analysis going on to determine why it failed, because right there where we took it out and where we connected, the pipe was intact and that pipe had never leaked. It did get hit by a contractor a couple of years ago when they were building a gas station, but we've never had any problems with it. So
Is it cast iron? What's it made of?
no, it's SCCP steel cylinder concrete pipe.
Okay, so it's concrete. Okay.
Yeah, it's concrete. So we've never had any problems with it. So it was a surprise to everybody, and we had just assessed it like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep.
It happens.
I understand.
Okay.
So now it caused us to be delayed enough, I think.
All right, well, thank you everybody for joining. This is Region 14 Upper Rio Grande Flood Planning Group Executive Committee meeting. Tuesday, January 27th, the time is 12:07 p.m. I'll officially call this meeting to order. And then I'll turn it over to item number 2, the Rio Grande COG. Consider and approve the nominee recommendation for voting membership to the Upper Rio Grande Flood Planning Group.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Erin or Annette?
Okay, yes. So we do have some vacancies for the flood planning group, and we want to be sure that we're adhering to the bylaws. So one of the requirements is that we present these nominees to the executive committee, and then from there, you all will recommend to the general membership for the consideration of the vacancies as well. So it's Dr. Paul Mate, and he would be representing the interests of agriculture. Am I correct in saying that, Aaron? Okay, so we've got Aaron's pulling up his resume and information about him. As you all know, that he has been attending the meetings for flood planning as well as water planning. He's with the Texas A&M Extension Service. And so I think this is a great opportunity for us because previously, at least with the water planning group, as I mentioned to Dave some time back, the position for TEEX was that it was, the extension service was that they needed to be ex officio members. And so if he's giving the authorization to serve as a voting member, I think that's a great win for the flood planning group. Just with the experience that he has and also being able to lend his expertise on the agriculture side, since we're often trying to find a way how to balance the two needs in terms of urban interests and that of our agriculture sector. And so, Aaron, is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Is he online at all today by chance?
Not for the executive committee, no.
Okay, all right. Is he going to be online for general meeting?
I think so.
Should
yes.
be in attendance.
Okay, all right.
In person.
Good.
Are there any concerns, questions, or information maybe that you may?
I think
request?
the only delays were him getting permission to be a voting member, right?
Yes.
I guess we need a motion to accept him then,
I think if you all would like to make a motion to recommend him
or to recommend him, better term.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll make that.
I make a motion to recommend him. I think he would be
So,
a great asset to our planning group.
Okay, so then, okay,
Second.
so we have Isela as a motion and Jeff as a second. Is there any more discussion on this? Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so motion will carry for Dr. Palmati. And so then our second individual that we would like you to consider is Isadora Garcia, and I'll let Aaron take the lead on this one in terms of informing you all of who she is and what her expertise is in.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate it. We are recommending Isadora Garcia from the city of Alpine to fulfill the municipality's interest category. Currently, Javier currently fills that position. But we would like to ask for your approval to make Isadora municipalities, and then we would move Chairman Acosta to industries. So just wanted to give a heads up on that. This is her bio, and then I'll bring up her resume as well, so you guys also see her working history. Fairly extensive, but it gives you a good idea of her background, right? So
3 children, 5 dogs and chickens.
Just so you know.
I like that. I don't think I've ever seen a bio that had just a note about chickens in it.
Another resume.
And she's currently at Sul Ross, is that correct?
no, ma'am, she
Says
says
she's pursuing a master's degree at Sul Ross.
that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
She used to work at Sol Ross.
She's an assistant city manager right now.
You know what?
Alpine.
And that's the lady that I just sent an email to. Yes, that's why I was,
Okay.
I'm sorry, connecting the
So-
dots.
What's her function as assistant to the city manager? Can you
She is serving-
show that? Yeah.
Yeah, she is serving as a grant writer for the city. And so that's one of her primary functions. And then I think the other thing that's, whether we see this as a plus or not, Alpine has had some major issues with their water and wastewater. I know that this is the flood planning group, but they do have, and Jeff can answer to that in terms of how the city is situated and the potential for flooding. But they are having to put a bigger focus on their water needs. And so I think that as a council, that is what they're putting a lot of their efforts in. So in terms of her having that knowledge base, I think it's going to be there because the city is forced to address a lot of these issues.
Yes, and this recommendation did come from AECom, because she has been so involved in the flood planning efforts, specifically within the city of Alpine. And it was Mr. Luis Alday that actually pointed it out when we were having a hard time trying to find someone. And he told me at that meeting in Alpine, at the public outreach meeting, he said, I think Isadora would be a great fit. I think we should pursue her to be on the flood planning group as a voting member. And I said, hey, that's a great idea. So that's how it all started.
Have you set her up to be in attendance at the general meeting also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
And I'm trying to go back to the bio where it states about her.
Yeah, it says expertise on emergency management and flood mitigation, implementing its first major flood mitigation initiatives, including the development of several water catch detention ponds. So she is involved with.
And she's going to be in the education arena for that for a while with her master's degree. So
Yeah.
she's going to learn a lot about current and new technologies and all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
too. She'll bring that to the table. Yeah.
So she'll be representing municipalities, which is what you have right now, Javi.
Correct.
Okay,
And then
so then the other question is, because we have Oscar Villalobos in the group, right? So what, he's not a voting member, or what's his role?
Yes. We actually had created his position at the request of Omar Martinez, and so he is serving as the floodplain administrator. So that's his position.
Oh, okay, I see. I wasn't sure we were gonna have how everything was gonna work out. Okay.
And he is a voting member, right?
Yes, and he does vote.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
So with the Water Development Board, they, at a minimum, you need to adhere to the industries or to the industry category that they have identified at a minimum, but you are, as a group, allowed to expand your membership. And so, as an example, with Water Planning Group, they have tourism, they have economic development, they have some special niche positions based on our region. And so that's just something for you all to be aware of if you wanted to move forward in that capacity in the future.
Okay.
So does a motion for this have to include the shift of Javier's move to industry?
I think that what we would do is
Can we just combine the two and make one motion that accomplishes both?
yeah, I think that when you make your recommendation, like for this one, let's just make a recommendation for Ms. Garcia to be considered in the municipalities position, and then when we have the general meeting, we can make that motion to combine the two, where you're asking for them to be nominated, to be considered for the nomination, then also to move Chairman Acosta to the industries category.
Okay, but that'd happen in the general meeting. Okay, so right now the motion just needs to be to have her accepted,
Yes, to be recommended.
recommended, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, why don't I make that motion this time?
Okay.
And I second it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second.
Yeah, I think it's good and important to continue expanding, inviting other municipalities to be part of this group, and that'll get more people engaged and involved.
And I think it's kind of exciting also to, from a rural community as well, right? So we have the.
Yeah,
different
you took that
perspective.
out of my mouth. I was gonna say the same thing. That's me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so then we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, opposed? Okay, so motion will carry. So I believe, Aaron, on the agenda, that's the only item that we have right now. So it's 12:19. I believe we come back at 1.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll give you a little bit of time back, and Chairman Acosta, we want to go ahead and make a motion to adjourn.
Well, I have a question. Do we have any more vacancies, or are these the only two?
Those are the only two. We haven't, we can figure out how we want to address the absenteeism of Mr. Tate, who serves as the River Authority. That's a hard one to get because we don't have river authorities in our region. So, but we can't exclude that one. So that's the only one that I would say is a potential, just because of his lack of participation. But if you all wanted to have the consideration of other positions, that's something that the executive committee can discuss. And you all can talk about recommending additional positions to open up for the flood planning group. Was that something of interest to you, Isela?
No, not at this time. I was just wondering.
Okay. Okay.
Is Tate associated with IBWC?
No, he is a rancher out of Marfa.
I wonder why we can't get somebody from IBWC to participate.
They're non-voting.
Yeah, they would have to be ex officio.
I understand,
Mhm.
but at least they could participate and we could have that river representative, as far as participation is concerned.
We can definitely, we'll verify to see if we have them on the invite list when we send out the notifications of the
Yeah.
meetings.
Which
But,
I think we do, because we have Dr. Uni and Dr. Bora there, but
That's right.
they don't really show up. Yesenia, I'm sorry, Yesenia Castro used to work here at EP Water, and then she moved to IBWC, and I believe she's now under Dr. Uni. She would be a good fit, but I guess it would have to come from her boss, right? I can reach out to her, send her a text to see if she'd be interested in what would we need to do to get her at least attending the meetings.
yes, if she's interested, and then that way we can formally ask, if she can be serving in that capacity.
Jeff, you have a question?
Just, it may be of interest in this discussion that my organization, the Rio Grande Joint Venture, coordinates the new environmental working group for IBWC. So we are bringing environmental projects that lead to, what's the language, just predictability and sustainability of flows in the Rio Grande. So there is that connection to Riverworks, I guess, through me, if that's helpful. Anyway,
Well, I wonder if your organization could serve in that capacity of river authorities in terms of your knowledge. Like, I think we'll have to do a deeper dive with Nick to see if it qualifies, but in some instances, it's a matter of, do you have the knowledge base for that industry? It's not because you're from that industry right at that moment necessarily. So, for instance, I think so we could look at that too, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't know if I would tick that box.
Okay.
But I have been working on river projects on the Rio Grande and the Pecos for that matter for 25 years now. So
Well, I was thinking that maybe someone from your organization would also could be
Yeah.
considered. You would stay where you are and then someone else can come in.
it's a possibility.
Okay.
The other choice there is, the new Water Science Center at Sol Ross has got a couple of good river scientists.
Okay.
And specifically, I'm thinking about Dr. Kevin Urbanzik, who is my alternate for the water planning group. Maybe and he's now the lead scientist for the new Water Science Center. So he might rethink his, I can talk to him, see if he's got any bandwidth to pay attention to these meetings and see what he says, if that's
Okay.
helpful.
What was his name again, Jeff?
Dr. Kevin Urbanzik.
Urbanic,
Urbanzik.
he's been around forever.
Yeah, he's my alternate. He's been in many of the water planning meetings.
Yeah.
And, he's the new lead scientist for the Meadows Center for Water in the Desert or something.
Okay. Yeah, Kevin's been around forever. Yeah. I mean, like, ever since we began water planning, I remember him. As a matter of fact, I think he spoke to us once when we were in Sol Ross at the university, when we had a meeting down there one time. I think he came to that meeting, talked to us.
I'm sure. And he's, if I can't make those meetings, he's my alternate. So he's been involved in for a long time.
The only concern I have is the word authority.
Yeah.
And if Texas Water Development Board is using the term authority for that position, it would seem to me that the only person that has the authority is the IBWC. And I'm surprised that they can't be a voting member.
I'm pretty sure that comes from the water master, like that. They're thinking about the water master's office and the authorities that the water masters on the other rivers implement, which is, there is one for the lower Rio Grande, but not for the upper Rio Grande.
And
There's not one just for the whole Rio Grande. It's one for lower, but not upper, huh?
That's my
Interesting.
understanding.
Okay.
And I'll take a look because I want to say that I'll take a look at the other flood planning regions to see who they're putting in that position, so you can see what,
Okay.
what, if there's any commonalities
Okay.
or what organizations are utilizing. For
I
that
wonder
position.
why the upper Rio Grande doesn't have a master like the lower does. That's interesting.
Beyond my,
Yeah, that's sort of odd too.
so, okay,
You
so
might-
then, if there's nothing else, then we can have a motion to adjourn.
Take
So
a
moved.
30-minute break and come back and join us, huh?
Okay, so I think you said I raised her hand, so she made a motion, and Dave, are you second? Okay.
Sure.
On favor?
Jeff hand went up for a second too.
On favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll see you all in about minutes. Thank you.
See you in a bit. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Chairman Nichols, I'm sorry, I got some of my meetings, I just do them. I'm sorry.
No worries, don't
We're
worry.
like, hey.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there wasn't a master But wasn't the master involved in the court case with New Mexico? And how did Upper Rio Grande not have a master if that master was involved in the court case with New Mexico?
I don't know.
That's weird. Who represented Upper Rio Grande area? There was somebody representing the whole Rio Grande, I think, in